Welcome to the Raleigh Board of Selectmen meeting for Monday, August 7th, 2017 at 7 p.m. The Town Hall, 139 Main Street, Raleigh. I'll call the meeting to order. First order of business is the Pledge of Allegiance. Chief will lead us. Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. Okay, tonight we have a 7 o'clock appointment with Fire Chief James Broderick. We will try to have citizens query between 7:10 and 7:15. And we have a 7:15 appointment with Highway Surveyor Patrick Snow. And then we have general business items, old business, and new business, and several announcements. So let's get right to our 7 o'clock appointment. And we have Chief James Broderick to present Robert O'Leary for appointment as a probationary call firefighter. Robert O'Leary, 212 Weathersfield Street, Raleigh, Mass., regarding call firefighter position for the town of Raleigh. Mr. O'Leary, this letter is to inform you that after checks of references and background checks, the Raleigh Fire Department is offering you a position as call firefighter probationary for the town of Raleigh. If you are still interested in becoming a call firefighter for the town, contact me at 978-948-3812, Monday through Friday between 8 a.m. and 4 p.m. After accepting this offer, we will then start the process to schedule employee orientation, begin the application process for the Massachusetts Firefighting Academy call/volunteer recruit training program. If you have any questions on the call firefighter probationary position, please do not hesitate to contact me at the fire station. Respectfully, James C. Broderick, Fire Chief, Town of Raleigh. Chief?
All right, this is RJ, as he's called. I don't know where the J came from.
Junior.
Robert Junior. Oh, okay, that explains. He works at the Old Newbury Golf Course for Nate Walker, who was the previous chief of the Newbury Fire Department, and his dad, Jeff Walker, who was a selectman in the town of Newbury.
Yep.
Both Walkers speak highly of RJ. He's a hard worker, needs very little direction. You give him a task and he does a good job. He took it on his own to learn CPR and how to use the defibrillator that they have over there without being asked. He thought it would be important to know how to use it in the event that somebody had a incident out on the golf course. So I thought that's a lot of initiative to go out and do something on your own. Good idea. And he's been kind of toying with becoming a firefighter for a while.
Long time.
And Nate kind of talked him into it. Finally, he called over, and as the process takes a little time, we got him through it all, and here we are right now. So this is Robert O'Leary, RJ, and he's ready to answer any questions you may have.
You have a question?
Not really.
Come on.
We're happy to have you aboard.
Thank you.
And the sound of it, we know the Walkers and the people at the country club up there, golf course.
Thank you.
And if you're willing to work hard and be part of the department, we're more than happy to have you, and hopefully it'll be a long-term relationship.
Thanks for giving me the offer.
I can tell you that the defibrillator comes in handy sometimes.
Haven't had to use it yet. Hopefully I don't, but.
Yes. Any questions?
I think that's a fine candidate.
Plus, he's a shopsmith.
Bob?
He's got a smart shopsmith. No question.
Shopsmith?
No
Yep.
question at all.
No questions. Okay. I'll entertain a
Maybe
motion.
I do have one question.
Okay.
Could you explain what a shopsmith is?
It's one of those things, you crank and you do all kinds of stuff with it.
Oh, okay, that explains it very well.
Hard to
It's
get parts from, too.
It's 7 tools in one.
Oh, okay.
Multi-purpose would work.
Multi-purpose.
Multi-
working.
Very
And
good.
he's bought one and he's very excited about it.
I've got one too.
Oh, you have one too?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, too.
On that basis, then I'll make a motion that we hire him as a probationary.
I'll second that.
Motion has been made and seconded to appoint Robert O'Leary as a probationary firefighter.
Until next July 1st, is that what this?
Yeah, he's gonna be going to the recruit class starting
Okay.
in September, and it'll be into next year, and then he's got a lot of work ahead of him.
Oh, sure, yeah, okay, that's fine.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Congratulations.
Thank you.
Congratulations.
Take care, Wesley.
Welcome aboard.
Thank you.
Good luck.
Thank you.
A lot of hard work ahead of you, that's for
My
sure.
condolences.
Thank you.
Congratulations. This is the highway surveyor, Pat Snow. You'll be seeing a lot of him.
Congratulations. Thank you.
And he'll be here on Wednesday to get processed in. Okay, thank you.
Very good, thank
Thanks,
you.
Chief.
Thank you.
Got some time for you, all right?
If you have any questions,
Yes, I'll call you if I have any
All right.
questions.
On the shop, Smith.
yes.
Shopsmith.
They
Okay.
are hard to get past. They are hard to get past.
Yes.
We'll go down to general business, number 1. We have a review of road opening permit for Raleigh Water Department to open 97 Central Street, southbound side for water main repair. The road opening permit was signed off by the staff, and unless there are any questions, we'll just accept that.
Done last week.
And we go on to general business number 2. We have a letter from the Secretary of the Commonwealth to Robert Snow, Chairman of the Board of Selectmen, Town of Raleigh, 139 Main Street, Raleigh, Mass.
A bit dated?
Dear Robert, I'm asking for your assistance in letting our constituents know of a new program we have recently launched at the Registry of Deeds. This free program, Property Fraud Watch, will assist the homeowners in your town in protecting their home from property deed and mortgage fraud. The FBI reports that property and mortgage fraud is one of the fastest growing white-collar crimes in America. The Property Fraud Watch service will alert property owners if someone is attempting to fraudulently take their most valuable asset, namely their home. Our system will notify them via email or phone call when a document is recorded at our registry which affects title to their property. This system will allow people who sign up to view the document on their smartphones or computers the very same day a document is recorded with our office and allows them to print it free of charge. As is often the case with our senior citizens who are too frequently targets of property fraud, if they do not have a smartphone, email account, or internet service, we can also accommodate them. The registry's customer service team will contact them via a telephone call and alert them to any document filed which affects their home. We will then mail them a copy of the document free of charge. I ask you to assist me in spreading the word to our constituents about this valuable notification service. I feel strongly that when government officials work together and share their resources, we can better serve the public. Please consider inserting a notification sheet explaining this program in your town's tax bills, which you send to all homeowners. I have enclosed a notification insert for your review. As you can see, this insert is cut to a size which will easily accommodate multiple size envelopes. Also, we will be happy to deliver the inserts either to your town hall or a third-party vendor if need be, or insertion in the bills. Recently, one of the Essex County municipalities sent them out with their July tax bills, and we made direct arrangements with the third-party vendor, Kelly and Ryan, to get the inserts to them in a timely fashion. Of course, we would do the same for your town and any vendor you may use. This service is also accessible on our website, www.salemdeeds.com. That's one word, Salem Deeds. Click on the Property Fraud Watch link on the homepage. I will also list all the municipalities who partner with us in getting the information about this free, valuable public service program out to the homeowners on our website. Please contact my assistant registrar, Deborah Gilmore, at 978-542-1724, or email her at sec.gilmore@sec.state.ma.us to participate in this announcement, and she will make arrangements to deliver the insertions to you. I thank you in advance for your anticipated cooperation. If we can be of any further assistance or you require any further details, you please let us know. My best, John L. O'Brien, Register of Deeds, Southern Essex District Registry of Deeds.
I suggest, Mr. Chairman, that we send a copy of this over to the Council on Aging. Maybe they could do a synopsis and put it in their monthly newsletter, where to particularly highlight the area of senior citizens.
I think that would be a great idea. Very good idea.
Thank you.
Okay, we have citizens' query for the next 5 minutes, starting at 7:12. Going on. Well, we'll hang around just a little bit. Where's my 7:15 folder? Gotta find that. Okay, it's approximately 7:15. Close enough. Patrick? We have an appointment with Highway Surveyor Patrick Snow to discuss Highway Department road materials and services contract bids. Highway Surveyor Patrick Snow is here tonight to discuss the awarding of contracts for the Highway Department road materials and services contract bid. This project is being paid for with the Chapter 90 funding. Assistant Town Administrator Natalie Lovett has been working with Pat Snow for the past couple of months to draft the bid documents. Dennis Roy has also been helping to review the bid documents and draft the specifications. The bids were received on July 18th. 9 contractors submitted bids for 9 categories of work. Pat Snow has called the references and checked the Mass DOT certifications for the lowest bidders and found no issues with any of them. 9 contracts will be awarded for this project. The total of the contracts for the lowest bidders is $700,020. Pat?
Yep, so all the contract is checked out. Basically, from this point, once you gentlemen vote, we'll send out the notice to award. I believe they have to send back a couple of bonds as well as an agreement to sign the contract. And then from that point on, we sign the contract and start scheduling and hopefully get some work going on. I don't know if you'd like me to read the memo into the record or...
Should we read it into the record?
It's up to you, Mr. Chairman. This has been sent to you. You've had a chance to read it over the weekend, so we
Right.
should make sure that you saw.
We do have a list of the contracts. Should we read it
Yeah.
into the record, or?
Well, it wouldn't hurt, although this
No.
will be part of the record.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes, it will.
I would suggest, Mr. Chairman, we just attach it to the minutes. and
To the
not
minutes.
read it.
Thank you.
I'll give you a motion to award the bids to the contractors as listed on this document.
Second?
Total bid of $700,020.
Again, I'll second
Any further discussion?
Pat, just one question on the last item 9, cement concrete wheelchair ramps.
So that's a new requirement through the state when using Chapter 90 funds. You have to, any sidewalks in the areas that you're working with that are currently there, you don't have to put sidewalks in, but if there are sidewalks located in the area of work, you have to install the ADA ramps with the rumble pads, and they have to make sure that the proper angle.
There's the width of the sidewalk too, also.
The width at the intersection of the sidewalk, yes. So you don't have to tear apart the entire sidewalk, but the ADA ramps do have to be installed where they come into the roadway.
Yeah, thank you.
Yep.
Thank you. Any further discussion? Motion has been made and seconded to approve the awarding the Highway Department Road Materials and Services contract to the lowest bidders. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Thank
Thank you
you.
very much, gentlemen.
Thanks, Pat.
Have a good night.
Yep, thank you.
Okay, moving on, we'll go down to old business. Old business number one, we have an update on the MBTA bus service during commuter rail shutdown and Wi-Fi proposal. Mr. Snow.
Mr. Chairman, on the 31st of July, I went into Boston, and there was a meeting of the control board, the MBTA, in the transportation room. And went up, and I was there with Brad Hill, Senator Tarr, Selectman Steiner from Manchester by the Sea, and a number of other selectmen from Andover, and I'm trying to think of the other community was there. Anyway, so the meeting was delayed because there was another meeting just before it about the commuter rail being extended down into Foxborough. So we didn't really get in there until about 2 o'clock, and at 2 o'clock, Senator Tarr addressed the board, and he was, as Senator Tarr is, with the offhand without notes, went through and did a very good job. And then Representative Hill went down with his notes and systematically just went down A to Z about how this is affecting both the Wi-Fi towers and about their placement and in the historic districts, and went A to Z. And then they both were given about 5 minutes to present. There was a lot of people in the room. And then the selectmen were brought up, and they were given 3 minutes. And I gave most of my time to Selectman Steiner from Manchester by the Sea. And then I spoke very briefly, and my gripe was about why are we buying a second-hand system? Why are we buying something that's 4 years, we signed a contract 4 years ago. So that means that the technology is 18 months behind that. So we're really buying a system. Why are we buying a system that's almost 6 years old? And they're putting it up with these 70-foot towers. I mean, technology has changed so much. And I told them, I said, I was in the business, and I said, a piece of equipment would get dragged into my office, and the next thing, that was obsolete. Because something was on the board that was coming out that would jump that technology. So why are we buying this? And so they politely listened, and then people from the audience got up, and there was, especially from a strong voice from North Andover, because it's going right through the historic district, and so they were very upset, and they kind of said that we would. Have they sent an email back out yet? Debbie, have you seen anything from them?
Other than there was a two-week
two-week delay.
continuation, which was a week ago, so now it's next week, I guess.
So it'll be next week, and so hopefully, they had, I think, every senator in the state, every representative in the state, plus the 2 U.S. senators have signed on to this, and the congressmen have signed on to stop this, and hopefully, they're going to listen. So that's where we stand right now. So I guess we have to wait for another week and find out how the board is going to act on this. So.
I think it's very unfortunate that they're putting in such an outdated system and trying to install it, and with 70-foot towers. They don't need 70-foot towers at all.
No, and just one thing, the fellow was sitting behind me from Ipswich. He's the one that was in the Ipswich Chronicle and I don't know if you saw the pictures, but he shows he raised a 70-foot balloon 70 feet up in the air and showed how high at 70 feet it is. And again, as I spoke to you a couple of weeks ago, you take 2 telephone poles and put them end on end, and that's approximately 70 feet. So, I mean, it's quite high. And they're gonna go through some of these historic districts. It's kind of really ugly.
Yep.
So, hopefully, we'll get some word out of the MBTA by next week.
Hopefully.
Plus, it just seems like they were hoping to get this all done before anybody noticed.
Yeah, sneak it
Without
in.
any real notifications. Maybe they had hearings 4 years ago, I don't know, but, you
And-
know, to do this currently without any prior notifications of the communities for feedback and the boards, selectmen, historic commissions, et cetera, it's just
And the
it's
other
a
thing that
disgrace,
really-
not the proper way to run
No.
a system these days. With all the problems the MBTA has, this is one that they've created themselves by going forward with this project without any
And then what was brought up several
Notification.
times, so it's a $140 million project, and they're only gonna receive 7% revenue from the Wi-Fi company. I mean,
Wow.
well, yeah, really, wow. Who signed that contract? I mean, so,
Okay, the MBTA has sent us notification that the Beverly Drawbridge project is nearing completion and on schedule. Weekday train service is set to resume on Monday, August 14th. Weekend train service will not be in service until September 30th due to the installation of the federally mandated safety system which prevents train collisions and overspeed derailments and human error.
that's up on our website, isn't it, Deb?
I believe so, on the homepage, we have that notice.
Because we don't want anybody to go down there on the weekend, especially after the 14th, and
They've had some bus service, though.
but the bus service
Yeah.
will be there. That's true.
Okay, moving on to old business number 2. We have an update on the Pine Grove School project. The MSBA has sent us the project funding agreement paperwork. Hey, Debbie has sent it to Town Council Tom Mullen to review. Durham Whittier has sent us an approval to proceed to design development phase form to be signed by Chairman Joe Perry. The board needs to vote to authorize Chairman Perry to sign this form. Chairman Perry will update the board on other aspects of the project. Have a motion?
I'll make the motion.
Second?
Motion has been made and seconded for me to sign the approval to proceed to design development, divine,
That would be something.
design development phase of the Pine Grove School project. Motion's been made and seconded. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. I don't know if I want to be the only one on. August 7th. 2 copies?
There's just one, Mr. Chairman, I believe.
Just one. Okay. We are continuing to meet. We have a meeting this Thursday about the project, and things are moving ahead. We have not only has the state awarded the project funding agreement, but it is being reviewed by our attorney, Tom Mullen. And so as soon as he finishes his review, we'll get that signed, and then we'll be officially all set, and the project funding will happen. So it's looking good. Okay, we'll move on to old business number 3. Dear Selectmen, I received your letter requesting to be placed on the agenda for the August 24th meeting to discuss the fiscal 19 budget. We welcome your comments or questions. However, responses may not be available at the meeting without knowing what specific information you are seeking. We look forward to hearing from you on August 24th. Sincerely, Dina Sullivan, Chair, Triton Regional School Committee, Chair of the Personnel and Negotiations Subcommittee. Just a word, if Dina's watching, I don't know that she can watch it in Newbury, but that what we're looking for is to make our presentation. We wanted to be officially as part of the record for the on the school committee meeting agenda, and to make our presentation about the fiscal year 19 budget, and to start the process as early as this month, so that we want everybody to get off on the right foot, and we want everybody to know where we stand as a town, and hopefully where other towns may be involved. Larry?
Yes, Larry White, 108 Central Street. As the chairman of the Finance Committee, I just want to voice the Finance Committee's support of this, and also that several members have expressed their willingness to come to this meeting for moral support for you, and to present kind of a united front that we are very interested in participating in the budget at an early stage and not having it forced upon us.
Thank you very much. I've always appreciated that we've had the support of the Finance Committee, that usually more than one member of the committee has shown up for the meetings, the district communications meetings. But I think it's important for us to be on the school committee agenda, and I appreciate the support of the Finance Committee on that. Thank you. Any comments? And I encourage, well, we've got a chance that we will meet one more time before the school committee meeting. But
What time is that meeting?
I believe it's at 7 p.m. on Thursday the 24th. Is it Thursday or? Yes,
24th is
Thursday
a
the 24th.
Thursday, yeah. But this isn't a joint meeting with the Board of Selectmen, so it's just the chairman and that will be attending, or will there be another representative of the
Yeah, I
Selectmen?
don't think we intended to have a joint meeting. We just, I mean, I'll be more than happy to attend with Joe, or if anybody else wants to go instead. We don't need to get a quorum there, but I think we all kind of agree on, in general, what we're looking for. And, just important that we start early and let them know before they begin their budget deliberations that we have serious concerns about the budget and the size of the budget and financial position of the town, which becomes more important each year as the as the school budget increases beyond our ability to pay, and we have to take money out of free cash to fund it year after year after year.
Right.
So I think that's the idea of going, and I'm more than happy to go with Joe. If anybody else wants to go, I'm more than happy to stay home. But
Thank you.
whatever.
Okay. Moving on. We have old business number 4, to sign the lease extension agreement with the YMCA of the North Shore. The lease extension is ready for the Board of Selectmen to sign. The Town Council, Judy Pickett, has worked on this. It has been signed by the YMCA. The board needs to vote and sign the extension. Also, Chairman Perry, Vice Chairman Snow, Debbie, and Amy went on a tour of the camp a couple of weeks ago, attached to some of the pictures that Bob Snow took. And I'd like to take a moment, because I thought it was just an awesome part of the visit that we made. And we had some of the campers come up and pass these thank you notes to each of us. And it was really kind. And several of the kids came up to me, and they made these up themselves, and they came up and presented it to us. And it says, "Thank you for all of the things you do for us." And they were very appreciative. And I thought that Vice Chairman Snow made an awesome gesture and said, got all of us in chorus to say thank you to them, that they were very welcome. They've done a wonderful job up there, and we really appreciate it. And it was nice to get these little notes from the campers.
Well, as you know, Mr. Chairman, I'm very good at hamming it up, so. This one picture, this is the pool. I don't know if you get in.
So where's Joe? Where's Joe?
No, Joe's not in the picture.
He's drowning.
Can they get in, see the picture? Who's down there, Jake? No, I guess they can't.
No.
Anyways, it's a nice picture of the pool there. They have it's absolutely a beautiful pool. And as Raleigh residents, is certain now is that we can use the pool. And that is, let me see if I can find it here. Don't forget, our pool at Camp Cedar Glen is open to the community weekdays, 3 p.m. to 6 p.m., and Saturdays from 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. Okay, free. So,
Saturday and Sunday.
Yep.
Saturday and Sunday. So you're right across the street.
Yeah, my grandkids are staying with us, so we intend to use the pool pretty soon.
It is absolutely beautiful. I think it's almost Olympic size, isn't
Yeah,
it?
it's a big pool.
Yeah.
Yeah, huge.
And I think the big benefit by giving them the lease extension is, they would like to commit more funds to doing more projects up there and expanding buildings and repairing buildings, and without all that, this lease extension, obviously, they don't want to invest a lot of money and lose the camp in a year when the normally would run out, so this is the ability to give this through, was it 2038? Is really a bonus to them and really a bonus to us, because it's so far in the 2-3 years they've been there, it's really been something that we can be proud of and the Y can be proud of, and it seems to be working out real well.
Seems like they're busier than they've ever been
Yeah.
there.
Yes.
And I hear the laughter and the screaming all day long from the kids. It's kind of funny, actually.
Yep.
And,
But it sounds like they're having a real good time.
They are.
And the other thing is we utilize, we buy all this conservation property, and yes, a few people use it, but by having the Dodge Reservation there, these kids in the camp is barely able to partake and use that property to the fullest amount that it can be, and gets the kids interested in what we have in Raleigh to offer for those kinds of things. So.
Yep.
And
They
they-
made quite an investment up
Yeah.
in that property, and we're happy to offer our support.
And the day we were there, they had about 120 children, and I mean, it was, the kids were kids, and they said this is a light day,
Yeah.
so they usually have even more children.
Normally, they run about 200.
Really, yeah.
The kids are having a great time, and I can't think of the fellow's name. I see him all the time. And he gets the kids all psyched up.
Doesn't he?
He was wonderful with the kids, and the kids were. I can't even remember some of the things that he was saying, but the kids got into it, and they were really having a good time. He was up in front of Chicky. I can't even remember some of the things he said, and he had all the kids doing all kinds of moves. It was really cute.
Yep. Well, I need a motion
I'll
to
give you the
sign the
motion to
agreement.
renew extend the lease.
Second.
Motion has been made and seconded to extend the lease for the Y, for the Dodge Reservation. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Thank you. Thank you. Okay, going on to old business number 5. We want to authorize Dave Peterson to meet with Parks and Recreation Committee to discuss Haley Field Eris Park, and Veterans Field. Dave Peterson has been working with the architect and engineer on the site plan for the fire station and police station addition. The site for the fire station and police station addition will result in a reconfiguration of some of the Eris Park parking spaces. Dave Peterson will discuss this agenda.
Yeah, basically, we've been, with this board's edification, and you're probably aware, we've been meeting about every other week for the police station building committee, of which Joe's a member, the two chiefs, and Debbie, and myself, and we're down to the point where we're probably gonna be ready to go out to bid, barring any last-minute problems in September. During this period, obviously, we're encroaching, we know we're encroaching on some of the parkland over there, the baseball fields and the parking area. And I've been meeting with Tim Southall, I met with him 2 or 3 times now to go over it, and he had some helpful suggestions. And things were going along pretty well, and we ran into a little problem with the stormwater management. Kind of hit us in the back of the head. We have to create some pools for stormwater to form and leach into the fields out there, into the land out there. The land is all, basically that whole area, other than the ledge that's in the middle, was all sand. They dug down 10, 12 feet, didn't hit any groundwater, and it was pure sand all the way down through. So one of the leaching areas will be in the center of where the small baseball, Little League baseball diamonds are. Tim, we're putting it at that location as a result of Tim asking if that's where we could put it. In addition, we're losing quite a bit of parking, and we're going to have to do some expansion. Tim has agreed to work with us as the project goes along, because we can't afford to lose too much parking out there. The second issue is that we're in the process of trying to buy the Gwynn property down on behind the Pine Grove School, and that will give us 3.5 acres of new park space. And we're hoping to build at least a couple of Little League baseball diamonds down there, which will take the pressure off of Eris Park. So I would like to be able to get the board's permission to, I've been meeting with Tim anyway, but I think it's time to make a presentation to the Parks and Rec Committee so that they know exactly, I'll bring the plans, et cetera, so they can see exactly what we're doing at Eris Park, as well as our intent of what we hope to do down at the Gwynn property once we actually have that purchase and sales go through. So it's just a matter of keeping everybody updated and having the official permission to go and present that to the Parks and Rec. Like I say, Tim Southall's been an excellent assistant. I mean, he's good anyway, and he's very active with the diamonds and the fields down there. But we need to make a presentation to that whole board, and let them know where we're going and what we're doing, and the fact that we're losing a little space down at Eris, but we're going to be creating a lot more space and a lot better space down at behind the Pine Grove School, because there's a fair amount of CPC funds currently available for the construction of a new baseball field. We hope to even put 2 down there, et cetera. So that's all.
Yeah, I did manage to, just information that I did manage to grab those drawings and wrap them up so that you could use those in your presentation. A motion?
I'll make a motion that Dave be authorized.
Second.
Motion has been made and seconded that Dave be authorized to meet with the Parks and Recreation to discuss the plans for Eris Park and for the Gwynn property. All those in favor say aye.
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 I'll abstain, just for official purposes.
Okay. Yes, Bernie.
Could I ask that any plans on Eris Park be also forwarded to the water department so that we're not surprised by any impact on well field number 2?
I think that would be a reasonable request.
Yeah, we talked about that this morning. We're not in the, we're in the, what was the technical, we're not on.
Watershed Protection District.
We're in the watershed protection.
It's under the
district,
zoning
but
board.
not the zone 2, we're outside the zone 2.
Outside
really.
zone 2.
But,
So
yeah,
we
we've
could just get a copy of the
been more than
plans, at least.
happy to forward some information.
Mr. Chairman, because of the percentage of the impervious soil that's in the site plan that's called for, it won't rise to a requirement to file with the ZBA under that zoning bylaw for the Watershed Protection District. But we do need to go to the ZBA for a setback, special permit on a
Right.
setback.
Okay, moving on to item number 6, we have an update on the annex elevator project. Attached, please find the options the architects from CBI have proposed for the elevator project at the annex. After meeting with them, Dave and I are recommending option C on the elevator design and option X for the second floor restroom. Both of the designs are the least costly and were recommended by the architects. Dave will discuss this during Monday's August 7th meeting.
Okay, so basically what you have in front of you in the large fold-out pieces of paper, Debbie and I have been meeting with the architect for the elevator for a number of meetings now. And we're really, once again, another project that we're getting down to the nitty-gritty on. So what we have is, I went through the building with them on 2 separate occasions now, from pretty much top to bottom in that building to look at any and all. The last time they were there, they actually opened up walls and things like that to see where the beams were, where the pipes were going, I haven't been over this since they were there, but the part of the project was they were going to repatch them up, so they weren't left wide open. But they have basically come up with 3, for the location of the elevator, they come up with 3 locations. Option A, and that's the top sheet, and that's kind of like where we originally looked at when we looked at the building. We wanted to put it, it's going to be in that conference room. And if you look at the second page, that's option A, which is the first floor layout. The first page is the basement layout, so it makes more sense to look at the next one. And you can see where the elevator is placed, and it's inside that conference room. And then it opens out into the hallway, and the entrance to it is to be a sloped walkway coming up to that door. And there's all kinds of handicapped access issues that we're going to be dealing with, but at this point, what we're doing is trying to determine where the elevator should be placed so that they can start actually doing the drawings. So
That's option A?
that's option A, right? It's page 2, second page. That's more or less where we originally talked about putting it. However, they've run into some issues with the building. So the third page is option A on the second floor. The second floor of the building. The next page is option B, basement. And if we go to the first floor, which is once more, you can see we've changed the way the entry is in the hallway, et cetera. It's in the same general location, but the access into that area and stuff has changed based on, because if it's an old building, we have to do all kinds of changes to the building and the stairwells and all these kinds of things. So we could do that one, or once again on the next page, option B, the second floor, it shows you exactly where that would be on the second floor. Third option, which is what Debbie and I are recommending and what the elevator person recommends, primarily because it provides the good access. And the first one is the basement, the next one is the first floor. And basically, it's of the 3 alternatives, really, it boils down to money. It's the cheapest one. They have to do the least amount of changes within the building, cutting into beams and things like that. And so that's the one we're recommending that it be done. And like I said, a lot of the expense has to do with when they do the doorways and the hallways and all these other things. They all have to be handicapped access space-wise, and that creates, where it's an old building, that's where the rubs come in. It's not so much where the elevator is going to be, but all the peripheral areas around the elevator and what they need to be to allow proper wheelchair access. And it's quite a project, quite a problem. So option C is the one that comes in at what they estimate will be the cheapest and fulfills all the requirements of that will be needed for an elevator in that building.
How much cheaper is it, Dave, you know?
We haven't got any prices yet.
Yeah.
But basically, the elevator is going to be in that same room, one way or the other. And basically, it's how the access to the elevator is from the downstairs doorway the first floor, second floor, et cetera, you know, whether the access is gonna be in the old conference room or out in the hallway, so on and so forth. So I don't know if there's anything you need to add, Debbie, on that. Just-
Is that kind of a half stop in between the?
Yeah, the elevator, you're gonna
and
come
then
in at the,
hallway?
you're gonna come in at the hallway level on the far end of the east end of the building.
Right,
You'll be an elevator, that's where the door, you'll go into the elevator lobby.
right.
You can then go either down to the basement, up, a short stop up to the first floor,
First floor.
or up to the second.
Floor.
Basically, we're looking at not, you know, the public won't have access to the basement. In other words, that's gonna be used for storage and/or future space needs, whatever. So basically, what we're looking for is if we vote tonight on the option, then the architect will move forward on doing the architectural drawing and specifications for it. And what we're looking for, obviously, is, once he gets all those drawings done, then we can get a price. So that for the fall town meeting, we'll know what to ask for, the CPC committee to actually construct the elevator.
And that takes out the wall for the inspection department, moves them out.
Yeah, basically, the inspection department will pretty much stay where it is at this point. But they may end up moving upstairs depending on how we configure the whole building, and we'll lose a good part of that conference room, maybe the whole thing, but what we're planning on doing is, where the health department, conservation commission, and planning board are, we're gonna turn that into one big open space. Council on Aging will have use of it during the daytime, and we'll be able to use that as a meeting room, a much larger meeting room than we currently have over there at night, or for public meetings, so. You know, there's going to be quite a change in the space over there. The second part of the project is in the packet, the 8.5 by 11 sheets. Part of the changes we need to make over there is handicapped access bathrooms, because we're doing over a certain percentage of cost of the building. Everything has to be based on, we either have to do the handicapped access installations and/or in some cases, we may be looking for some waivers, but a big problem there is the bathrooms. So on this other page, it shows you the first floor toilet room, and it shows you it gets complicated, but there's a certain amount of swing space for wheelchairs. You have to be able to do all kinds of things. The radiator that's there is currently against the window to the right. We're going to move that around. Got to have space for the toilet, and sinks, and so on and so forth. So there's a couple of that's what the first floor will look like. So we need to authorize that to go ahead and make those changes. As most of us know, we've been up on the second floor. The second floor used to be the bathroom right above the first floor bathroom. Basically nothing now. There's some plumbing that goes up there, but there's no bathroom, there's no fixtures. It's really kind of a mess up there. But because we're going to start using the second floor, we're going to be required to have two bathrooms. So when you look at the next page on this drawing, you have the option X, which is a second floor toilet room, and it's basically one unisex bathroom. Page 2 is a option, which is option Y. It'll have a unisex bathroom, and it will have, which won't be handicap accessible. But next to it, as you look at the bottom, it says at the top unisex. At the bottom, it says unisex accessible. So that'll actually be two sets of fixtures in the second floor. One that will be accessible and one that will not be accessible. Obviously, that creates a lot more expense. We're talking, it really boils down to money. So option 2, or option Z, is the same second floor room with it would become a woman's room alone. So the men's room would be the first floor, the women's room would be the second floor, and as you can see on the drawings, there would be two toilets, 2 stalls, 2 toilets. So basically what Debbie and I and the architect recommend for cost-wise and because there's not gonna be hordes of people using the building, that our best option would be option X, which is the first floor would be a unisex bathroom. And the second floor, we would be looking at option X, which also is a unisex bathroom, and there'd be also some storage areas for the janitors and, you know, all kind of, that kind of a general area, so. We're looking for, if we can vote tonight to endorse, what Debbie and I are recommending is option C for the elevator location, and option X for the bathroom setup, so that, did I get that right, Debbie?
Yes.
You have the motion for the vote?
I'll make a motion, we go with option C and option X.
I'll second that.
Motion has been made and seconded. Further discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye. Thank you very much, gentlemen.
Okay, moving on to new business. Discuss an application to appeal the building inspector's decision filed by Michael Sabatini with the Zoning Board of Appeals. Town Council Judy Pickett has prepared a memo on this matter. She has been working with the building inspector, Cam Ward, on a recent cease and desist on this property because there were no permits pulled prior to a July 12, 2017 excuse me, event. See attached letter. Excuse me. The Board of Selectmen may want to recommend to the ZBA the following. Number one, request that they read Judy Pickett's August 7th, 2017 memo, which is attached. Number two, request that the Historical Commission to be permitted to make a presentation to the ZBA at the public hearing on the town's historic preservation restriction on the property, especially the barn. Number three, request that the building inspector, fire chief, police chief, representative from the planning board, and health agent make presentations to the ZBA. Number four, that the members of the ZBA either check with Judy or with the State Ethics Commission to settle any potential conflict of interest issues. Should I read Judy Pickett's memo?
Yes, please.
Memorandum to Joseph Perry, Chairman of the Board of Selectmen, Deborah Egan, Town Administrator, Ken Ward, Building Inspector, from Judith Pickett, Esquire. Date August 7th, 2017, regarding the appeal of July 10th, 2017, decision of the Building Inspector, parentheses, Sabatini. The Board of Appeals has scheduled a hearing for August 17th, 2017, on an appeal by Michael Sabatini of a decision from the Building Inspector dated July 10th. The Building Inspector's decision was triggered by a written request from Mr. Sabatini on July 10th, 2017. This appeal is limited to a seeking an opinion, excuse me, from the Building Inspector whether the agritourism events may be held on the Sabatini property where the produce and products are harvested from my farm in area farms, pursuant to Mass DAR policy memos. The five-member appointed Board of Appeals reviews appeals from a decision of the Building Inspector pursuant to General Laws, Chapter 40A, Section 7, 8, 14, and 15. Once the appeal is filed, the Building Inspector shall forthwith transmit to the Board of Appeals all documents and papers constituting the record of the case. The Board shall hold a hearing within 65 days from the receipt of the appeal and shall issue a decision within 100 days after the date of filing the appeal. The chairman or the acting chairman may administer oaths, summon witnesses, and call for the production of papers. In this instance, the board is not being asked to rule on the denial of a permit or enforcement action pursuant to General Laws, Chapter 40A, Section 8, but to make a broad determination on whether agritourism is permitted on the Sabatini property. Such a determination is beyond the scope of what is permitted in a Section 8 request, as such a determination would have to be made on a case-by-case review of the facts. Here there are no facts, only a general request that the board sanction any or all agritourism activities that might take place on the farm. The guidance for making such a determination on a proposed activity is provided by Mass DAR in Agricultural Law Memo ALM 10-05, and to some extent by Rowley's Right to Farm bylaw. In addition, Mr. Sabatini is premature in making this request of the board, as he should first receive the basic approvals necessary before embarking on any proposed agribusiness activity, such as an occupancy permit for the barn and fire safety approval for fire alarms, as well as approval from the Historic Commission for any barn renovations pursuant to the recorded historic preservation restriction. It is my understanding that the board currently consists of 4 members and an alternate. Since an affirmative vote of 4 of the 5 members is required to reverse or affirm any order or decision of the building inspector, all 4 members and the alternate should plan to attend the hearing. I have been told that there may be a conflict of interest with various board members, and that should be settled prior to the hearing. I'd like a motion for our recommendation to the ZBA to follow the 4 requests that I have read.
Can I make a couple comments about that?
Yes.
I have 2 comments. First, in addition to asking the board to review Judy Pickett's August 7th memo, I wonder if we should also be referencing her prior memo dated April 8th. Seems to me that provides important background information. My second comment is that I don't know if we want to suggest that all of these boards and town officials, quote unquote, make a presentation to the ZBA. In other words, appear in person and state their views. Rather, I think we should probably give them the option of submitting written comments if they don't actually want to appear at the hearing. That's pretty standard.
It would seem to be a principle.
Just a legal question. On the conflict of interest, on the surface, it would appear as though at least one member that I'm aware of is, I believe, in a butter to that property, so that I would assume that they would have to not rule unless there's an exception.
I would think so.
Exception by necessity. If they have to have 5 members, I'm not sure how. Just a question. I don't know what they're going to do.
Mr. Chairman, the abutters list is in that packet.
I mean, it's something like she says, like Judy says, they're going to have to figure that out ahead of time as to what they're going to do. But my concern, I guess, just is if one of them does have a conflict of interest, then where does the ruling? How is the ruling made? If they only have, say, 4 members that can vote on it, so kind of between a rock and a hard place, all like. probably a way around it, but just to be aware of it.
Yeah, well, all they need is 4 members to vote, so that it'd still be, even with
Okay,
one
so
having a
still-
conflict of interest,
Okay.
they'd still be able
As long as they can,
to,
make a
to,
ruling on it, that's fine.
to make a ruling. Judy says 4 members, four of the 5 members, and that's true. It doesn't have to be unanimous, it just has to be a supermajority.
Need a motion, Mr. Chairman, I'll make a motion. Forward a letter to the CPA with those 4 requests
As amended by.
as amended by Ms. Pierce, Selectman Pierce.
Second.
Any further discussion? Hearing none. We have a motion and a second to recommend to the ZBA the following requests. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Thank you. Okay, the new business number 2, we have a letter from Attorney Donald Greeno regarding Chapter 61A land off of Emily Lane. This agenda item needs to be tabled until the August 21st, 2017 meeting agenda. We received a letter from the Conservation Commission and an email from the Principal Assessor, Sean McFadden, on this request, but not yet from the Planning Board. This is on the Planning Board's next meeting agenda. So we'll table this for the August 21st meeting. Motion.
Need a motion? Can you get that motion?
Second.
Motion has been made and seconded to table this until the August 21st Selectmen's meeting. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Okay, we have new business number 3 is to discuss the Community Compact Program. We've been working over the past several months in identifying possible best practices programs that the town can submit to the state as part of the Community Compact Best Practices Program. Under this program, the state will offer the town technical assistance in meeting the best practice goal that we've set and agreed to. Natalie has met with interested town departments heads to discuss potential best practices. She has identified 7 possible best practices. The town is eligible to submit only 2 best practices per fiscal year. We've identified the following 2 best practices as the most needed at this time. Number 1, develop, document, and implement financial policies and practices. Number 2, develop a bridge/culvert preventive maintenance plan. We request the Board of Selectmen to vote to select these 2 best practices for submission to the state under the Community Compact Program and to authorize Chairman Perry to sign the compact when it is ready. Discussion. Motion?
I give it the motion, Mr. Chairman. Yeah, I'll second it, but just a comment, I mean, the state has no money.
True.
And yet this is, I assume, a brand-new program that's
Oh, no, it's a couple of years
a couple of years going.
since Governor Baker took over, and it was spearheaded by Lieutenant Governor Polito because she used to be a selectman. And Representative Brad Hill has encouraged us to do this because we don't get cash, or we get technical assistance to reach the goals.
Okay. Just that, as taxes go up and money gets tighter, and we keep seeing these various programs that cost the state money, so somewhere things got to be cut back, and this is something that, you know, I'm sure it's, the two projects we have, particularly the bridge culvert, which, you know, I like doing capital projects, is valuable. I'm not sure what technical assistance they can give us other than we could get some money to help design the changes. I think that would be more helpful than anything else. But, you know, I'll second it, and, you know, it doesn't hurt to get involved, I'm sure. And it's probably one of those deals, if you don't do it, the state will come back and penalize you at some point down the road. But it's just, you get tired of these programs that the state comes down with, and they don't fund them, they don't, they have all kind of mandates and things like that. But, you know, it's just more work for local
The
towns,
local
cities and
towns,
towns.
cities
So-
and towns.
But I understand, on paper, it looks good. We're interested to see how it works out in practice. Like so many other things, it often goes good for a couple of years, and then it just kind of withers away to nothing, so. But yeah, I'll second it.
Any further comment? A motion? Do we need a motion?
Yes, we do need that authorization. So Mr. Snow made the motion, Mr. Peter seconded.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Okay. We're into announcements. Raleigh residents have free outdoor pool access at the YMCA's Raleigh campus at 390 Weathersfield Street. Resident pool access hours are Monday through Friday from 3 p.m. to 6 p.m. and Saturday and Sunday from 10 a.m. Attention, all Korean War veterans who served in Korea. The Eastern Essex Veterans Services District is issuing the Korean Ambassador for Peace Medal. Please contact the Veterans Office at 978-356-3915. Information on the Pine Grove School project is available on the town's website at www.townofraleigh.net. The town has the following vacancies: Historic District Commission and Historical Commission, 1 seat. Open Space Committee, 2 seats. Fence Viewer, 3 positions. Wood, Lumber, and Bark Inspector. Zoning Board of Appeals, 1 seat. Zoning Board of Appeals Associate, 2 seats. Parks and Recreation Committee, 1 seat. Deputy Shellfish Constables, 2 positions. For more information on these positions, please contact the Selectmen's office at 948-2372. The Raleigh Food Pantry is in need of donations. Summertime is a particularly difficult time, so the Raleigh Food Pantry is in need of donations. Donations can be left at the Raleigh Public Library. The food pantry is open on Tuesdays from 10 a.m. to 12 p.m. and on Thursdays from 5:30 to 7 p.m.
Any motion to adjourn, Mr. Chairman?
Second.
Motion has been made and seconded to adjourn. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Thank you very much.